You're here because you want to change your life, or at least part of it. But change is hard, whether it's changing your daily habits or making big, scary life decisions. If you want to build a life that is intentional and aligned with your dreams, goals, and values, then you're probably gonna need to pluck up some courage at some point. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's hard. But what's the alternative? Following the path of least resistance, living a mediocre, unfulfilling life just because you let your fear get in the way? Hopefully not, and hopefully you'll walk away from this video feeling more courageous and ready to take action towards the life that you truly want to be living. The first and most important thing to note is that fear is not a barrier to a courageous life, it's a necessity. Courage does not exist without fear. The definition of courage is acting in the face of fear, being able to do the things that scare you. It's strength, it's dedication, and ultimately it's a choice that you make. It's a choice that asks you, are you sure you want this? And how badly do you want this? A fulfilling life doesn't just come from having the things you want to have and doing the things that you want to do. It also comes in part from knowing about the journey that got you there. So if you feel far from your dreams and desires and it feels like there's a lot of fear between you and getting there, just know that this is exactly right. Because the fear wouldn't be there if you didn't care so much, if you didn't desire so much. The fear you feel is not an obstacle towards your courageous life, it is the path towards it. Oftentimes what makes things so scary in the first place is that the decision you're wanting to make involves some sort of risk. Whether it's a real tangible risk or it's more of a mental or emotional one, that fear is often fear of losing something. And that's so real, that's so valid, because honestly, yeah, there are things that will probably fall away or that you'll have to let go of in order to move towards the life that you want. When you go towards your new life, your dream life, you are going to reach points at which life asks you, are you ready to let go of your old life? And if you are clinging on to certain things from your past reality, you're not going to be able to move forward towards your new one. And so bringing it back to risks, there is risk in making huge changes in life, but what many people don't realize is that there is also risk in not changing. The risk of waking up at 40, 50, 60 and realizing you never got to do all of the things that you dreamed of doing. The risk of living a secure life that many would dream of and yet still feeling unfulfilled and unhappy because it's not your dream. The risk of knowing you could have made a different choice, but you let your fear be greater than your courage. And for me personally, I don't want fear to bully me into a life of regrets and what ifs. So yeah, change is risky and scary, but the only thing that feels even riskier, even scarier, is not changing at all. So now that we have accepted and embraced fear and redefined risk, let's talk about the internal resources that we need to build to be able to actually take action on these decisions. The first being self-trust. To make the decisions in the first place, we need to be able to trust that we know what's best for us and that we are capable of making smart decisions for ourselves. Now, this can definitely be challenging, especially if you had early childhood experiences where you were taught not to trust yourself or to trust authority figures or parental figures or other people around you above your own self, your own intuition. But we can build this self-trust often through research and learning. Asking experts for help can be helpful, but note that I am saying experts and not just anyone who wants to give you advice, right? People that we actually look up to and feel like we want to be where they are. And most importantly, connecting to that intuition, hearing our inner voice, and not just hearing it, but trusting it enough to then take action on what it's telling us. We also need to build up self-confidence and self-esteem, which are two different things. And these two things are important because sometimes we are going to take risks where the chance of failure is kind of high. We're not always going to know if we're actually going to succeed, or the likelihood of failure, embarrassment, of discomfort is there. And that's why it's so important not to only have the self-confidence piece of saying, I believe in myself, I can do this, but also that we have enough self-esteem to also say that I will be okay even if I don't, even if I fail. And if you want to live a courageous life, there's no way around it. You're also going to have to develop a lot of resilience. The ability to fall down over and over and over again and still get back up. The ability to listen to all the noise and chatter and unsolicited advice coming from other people and to still stay aligned with your truth and your path. The ability to just keep going and keep trying. It's going to be one of the most important things on your journey. So those were the things that we could kind of build up inside of ourselves to help support our courageous journey. But we can't control everything. There is an element of uncertainty, of the unknown. And to help deal with this, I think it's incredibly incredibly important to develop faith. And what I mean when I say faith is that there's this unwavering trust and belief and conviction that life is going to work out for you. And this doesn't have to be in a religious way. I'm not religious. I consider myself spiritual. So when I think of faith, I think of the universe. I think of positive energy. I think of karma. For you, it might be God. It might be source. It might be the creator, universe, whatever word you want to use. And hey, if none of those work for you, have faith in yourself. Believe in your own capability to handle the unknown and whatever it's going to bring. It's like, what's that Winnie the Pooh quote? Let me see. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. That. When we develop our faith, we're able to feel this constant undercurrent of support whenever we do anything. And for me, it's also been an imperative part of building up that resilience we just talked about. When you're failing over and over and over again, faith is what keeps you on your path. Something that I think is important to keep in mind while you build your courageous life is the knowingness that courage will grow. It's like a rubber band. As soon as you start to use it and you use it more and more, it's going to expand and it's going to be able to hold more and more bigger and bigger things. If you take action now, even if it's on just some of those smaller fears, those little changes that feel just outside of your comfort zone but still kind of manageable, if you keep doing that, your courage in 2, 3, 5 years is going to be so much greater than your level of courage now. You don't have to take on the biggest, scariest challenge right now. You can focus on taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. And next thing you know, you'll be making big, bold changes for yourself. It's not that the fear is going to go away, because remember, fear is a prerequisite for courage, but it's that you'll be able to make those decisions with a greater sense of inner peace. It may sound contradictory, but yes, fear and peace can coexist at the same time. It's those kind of emotional complexities that make human life so rich and interesting to experience. I was inspired to create this video because I'm currently going through a big life upheaval of my own. I actually already shared about it on Instagram, so if you want to hear the details, you can go there and check it out. But I will be sharing more about that in the coming weeks here on YouTube as well. So I need these words and reminders just as much as anyone else. I would love to hear which part of this video spoke to you the most, so let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to continue on your learning path today, then I would recommend you check out a video I made called Making Authentic Decisions, so that you're not just making big, bold decisions, but you're making the right decisions that are true for you. So I'm gonna link that on the screen for you to watch next. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.